What's up, guys? I wanted to make another quick video and talk about another 5 Code Red Blu-rays. There's no rhyme or reason to the ones that I picked. They're just 5 that I've seen lately, and I watch a lot of Code Red stuff, so I normally have plenty to pick from. But I just grabbed 5 of them. Try not to make them too samey in the same video, but if you're looking to buy any of these, do not go by eBay or Amazon prices. I would check with CodeRedDVD.com, RoninFlix.com, and ScreenArchives.com. Check those sites, and if for some reason you still can't find it for a decent price, I would send a Twitter message to @CodeRedDVD and just ask Bill if he has any in stock, and if you would put them up on the Code Red site or something. He's been doing that a lot lately with some older DVDs, so you never know, and it's worth it before you ask. There's actually only 2 or 3 that are legitimately, like, you can't get through those sources, so just don't pay crazy prices unless you absolutely have to. The first one I want to talk about today is Spine number 53, and it is called Knife for the Ladies. Now, this is the version of this that Code Red put out is like over 20 minutes longer than any previous version, and I don't actually know how much nudity or gore it added in from the old cut, but it's still nice to have a complete version for sure. I wanted to see it because it had Jack Elam in it. It's kind of a Western murder mystery, but it's got this guy who looks like, I don't know what the guy's name is. Gabriella will kill me for not knowing, but it's like the Doctor Who that had the big curly afro. There's a detective in this movie that looks just like that guy, and he has a great fight with drunk-ass Jack Elam who, like, abuses children. And anyway, it's kind of weird because it's not really a horror movie, but it does have kind of like slasher themes to it, kind of like Jack the Ripper in the Old West, but it's not super graphic, but it has some blood. It's got a crazy old lady. Ruth Roman plays her, and it's a really, really good performance, really creepy. And then it has a really, really good ending, like a great ending for sure. So even if you normally, it's not really a Western. I mean, it's set in the Old West, but it's not about cowboys. It's about murdering prostitutes. So don't pass on it just because it's a Western. And again, that's Knife for the Ladies. I think it's actually in a bundle on CodeRed.com. I think that's how I got it. Next we have Spine number 3, which is one a lot of people complained about whenever it was one of the early ones. It's the Gun Massacre. This is a super cheap. It's definitely like a genre classic. It's one just about everybody's seen, so I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of people that watch this that haven't seen it, but it's just about this person who's in like a motorcycle suit, and they go around shooting people with a nail gun and some other different ways to kill people. But probably the funniest thing about it is just these like ridiculous one-liners that the killer says, and they're really, 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 really bad. And then there's like a gang rape scene where like none of the men are actually naked, and it's so bad that it even like, well, Bill always puts crazy shit on the back of the cases, but like it specifically says like, you know, pants on gang rape, which I think is pretty funny. But it's also got a really funny like 2 people standing up and having sex, and they're both completely like standing straight up. There's no like angle play or whatever, and the camera is like right up the guy's hairy ass, and that's a pretty good part too. It's got a lot of gore in it. None of it is like, you know, super graphic or super well done, but it's just one of those movies that's so bad if you put it in a party, it's awesome. It's just a great movie to watch with your friends, or if you just like really bad horror movies. And again, that's number 3. That's the Gun Massacre, which, look at that artwork, it's fantastic. Next up we have one of the Italian movies that Bill's always saying bankrupted him or whatever. Like, we're just terrible sellers. He's like always lamenting online about how terrible the Italians fucked him and, you know, charged him all this money while they don't charge Synapse or Severin anything. And this is Spine number 44, and it is Equalizer 2000. Now this has got Richard Norton in it. You can see him on the front there with his sweaty body. And then that's Ken Wall's ex-wife is next. I don't actually know if it's ex-wife. I just assume it's his ex-wife. But it's a Roger Corman produced. What's the guy's name who directed it? Cirio Santiago, who directed a shit ton of these post-apocalyptic movies for Roger Corman. And it's like all action. I mean, there's some story. It's like warring factions, and they battle it out. And the movie quickly centers on Well, first Richard Norton is part of like the evil group, but then he ends up joining up with the rebels. But the movie quickly moves into having this like amazing gun, which then Richard Norton adds some shit to it in this crazy scene where he just sweats his ass off in like a blacksmith kind of a role. And anyway, this gun is like badass, and so that's the Equalizer 2000 is the gun. It's also got Robert Patrick in it as like he's just like a dirty ass redneck dressed up like he's in a Civil War reenactment. But the movie is basically all gunfights, all car chases, all just very little narrative, very little focus on anything other than just action. And it's a Roger Corman. I think it was shot in the Philippines. It's just kind of it's definitely low budget, but it has really cool looking cars, like Mad Max rip-off type production values. But it's a really fun movie. It's really cool, and you know, we don't want Bill to lose his shirt, so we want him to get back at those Italians. So if you like post-apocalyptic movies, I would check it out. Richard Norton's awesome in everything. He's a great action guy. So again, that's Equalizer 2000. It does not have any nudity in it. It has one girl, that girl, and she looks like she'd have pretty good tits, but you don't get to see them in this movie, unfortunately. Sorry, my dog wants to come up here. He can have a brief cameo in the video. Okay, so next up is Spine number 89. I'm not like the worst aim with this. I do it all the time on my Twitch stream too. Like I try to hold something up and miss it. That's number 89, and it is Working Girls. It was directed by Stephanie Rothman, who did a bunch of pretty cool exploitation movies. Like, I think Code Red also released Terminal Island, Group Marriage. She also was one of the people they brought in to try to fix Bloodbath for Roger Corman. This is not really an exploitation movie. It's more like an empowered female, like a light feminist comedy. It does have some nudity in it, but not that much. But what the movie is really known for is being the only on-film nude appearance for Elvira. So if you get this movie, you get to see Elvira's tits. And you get to see them for a long time because she does like an entire like striptease routine. So you get to see them. The movie is okay. It's like a comedy. I don't know. I think it's more of like for nostalgia, or if you just like annoying girls, it's okay. The feminism is not too bad. It's not like crammed down your throat, but like all the girls are these powerful, self-motivated chicks, and then the guys are all like just complete losers. So, but the main reason again is to see Elvira naked. In fact, the movie was released in some areas just as Elvira naked. So I'm definitely not alone in thinking that. That is Working Girls. This is available super cheap at Code Red. I think it was like $16.95 last time I checked. And it's in a bundle too if you want to get it even cheaper. So I saved the best for last, I think, and this is number... See, God, I'm awful at that. This is number 57, and it is Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. Now, this one confuses a lot of people. Even people who like exploitation movies are really mixed about this movie because they don't like it because it shifts very quickly between, like, cheesecake nudity and, like... I don't even think it's really that rough. It's just kind of has some, like... attempted rape, which is rough, I admit that, but like it's not like in my review I did for my site, I said that it wasn't like it was David Hess going around just like crushing these poor girls into oblivion. It's the guy from Penitentiary is in it. The guy who played Flesh Gordon is in it. That's pretty awesome. It's got a ton of nudity. It's got a really weird scene where in the middle of... Well, here's what happens in the movie is there's 3 different schools cheerleading teams go on a trip together, and they're all on the same bus, and they end up getting... All of them get kidnapped. They get held for ransom. The kidnappers make them put on this bizarre talent show, but the chicks, like, totally embrace it, and it's just a crazy, like, sex show and whatever. And then, of course, all the girls start to fall for the captors, sorry. And it's just kind of, I don't know. A lot of people don't like it because it's not really like a cheesecake movie like you would think from Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, but I don't think it's that bad. Like I said, it's not super extreme with the violence, but there is some like people getting smacked around, and well, there's like an attempted rape, and there's like, you know, it's kind of weird, but I think it's really good. If you like exploitation, I think you should check it out. And again, that one is Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. If there's a Code Red Blu-ray release or DVD, I don't have all the DVDs, but I have a lot of them. If there's anything you want to see in specific, let me know. Or if there's something you want to see, if you want to see me do another company I can do like a Scream Factory or a Severin or Synapse or Unearthed, whatever you want to see. So just let me know. I'll probably try to keep them themed to the same label, or like if there's some movies that are off labels, like group them together. But if you want to hear my, well, you can't hear them, but if you want to read my written reviews, go to markfusion.com. I've got like over 100 since January 28th. So check that out. I review pretty much all B movie action, exploitation, horror. There's some classic porn reviews on there. There's just a lot of stuff. So thanks for watching this video. And like I said, if there's something you want to see, please let me know. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.